to Tech Enthusiast. I'm Neil.
And I was about to say I'm Neil as well then.
That would be silly.
Let's kick off with Microsoft, Neil.
Okay.
Because it's big conference season.
Yep.
Facebook kicked it off. Microsoft have gone. Google's gone. Apple's next week.
Yeah.
I think so. Microsoft. I think we've both always had a soft spot for Microsoft.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when I first got into computing, it was Microsoft. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they had a bit of a dip, didn't they?
Well, yeah.
Early, mid-2000s. I think, you know, it was because of, you know, we all know why, Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
But now...
And the rise of Apple, obviously.
They just dropped the ball, though.
Yeah.
They really did. They absolutely dropped the ball. But anyway, now, under new leadership, I'm always excited at everything they do. So their latest event, absolutely blown away by cross-platform copy and paste.
It's a pretty awesome feature.
So you can copy some text on your iPhone, paste it on your PC. That just seems fantastic.
It does.
Great little service. And I think it's a nod to the fact that nowadays people use multiple devices for multiple suppliers.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that Microsoft have really got going from at the moment, because there's such a big push to try and pull people to your devices. And Microsoft got burned with Windows Phone. Just didn't work for them.
Yeah, it was Windows RT. It just went nowhere.
Yeah, and they were trying to pull it all together, and then they've realised off the back of that, look, we're not going to win the phone market. It's never going to happen. Let's make it so people's devices work with our stuff.
Yeah, because even if you're a big Apple fan,
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily mean that your work computer is a Mac.
No.
So while you may have a work iPhone, you may not have a work Mac. So this is a brilliant way to add that bridge.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. It's the future of Microsoft. You end up using a lot of their services and stuff without even realising now.
Yeah, this is...
You really do. You just think like, oh, I've actually started using quite a few Microsofts, and you don't even realise it.
Yeah.
So they've done it so subtly, so well, and it gets all those pain points.
Yeah.
I've moved away from Dropbox now.
Oh, yeah.
OneDrive.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I use OneDrive quite a lot anyway, but it's the apps within ecosystems that work cross-platform that win out. Thing like Dropbox that, you know, you're able to use on regardless whether you're using Windows or iOS or whatever.
Well, that's just it for me now. I use the iPhone, the iPad Pro, a Mac, and a PC. So the only way I can synchronise all my files without using Dropbox is OneDrive.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the reason I've gone OneDrive, they sucked me in because it was the same price as Dropbox, but you got Office as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you're like, well, it's a no-brainer now because I get to use Office on all those devices I just mentioned, and I can share all the files.
Yeah.
And just being able to create a file on one device and it appear on all the others, it's great. Like yesterday, I was doing some prep work, doing some books. I was like, okay, I'm on my iPad. I'm going to pop that into OneDrive so then I can pick it up on my iPhone, my PC, and my Mac. It's all there, done.
Yeah.
And it's great. And they also announced at Build, OneDrive is now basically going to be a cloud drive as well. So you don't even have to have the files locally.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you can have just a terabyte up in the cloud, access them when you need them. You don't need that big internal drive. I like it.
Yeah, I think it was always kind of cool how it appeared as like a virtual drive on your computer. But I think it's a really, really cool way to go. And like you say, it means that you don't need to have them locally stored. People probably still will to a certain extent.
Yeah, there's a few things I do like. Okay, I definitely want this locally over on my devices. But then other things, perhaps what you could deem cold storage.
Yeah,
I don't need them on all my devices. They might as well live in the cloud.
Yeah.
Download them when I actually need to access them. So it's generally videos and some photos. Yeah, I don't need them on every device. So yeah,
cool.
Loving it. Microsoft, killing it.
They are, they're doing, yeah.
But they've also had a second event, Neil.
Which is, yes.
Now this I found really strange. Now Build, arguably developers event.
Yeah.
Because it is a developers event.
Yeah, totally.
So then they do another event on the 23rd of May aimed at consumers, and they announce the Surface Pro. Okay, that makes sense, but then why announce the Surface laptop at the developers event?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It seemed a little strange, And after all I've been building up Microsoft, I'm about to have a bit of a dig, Neil. What have they got against USB-C?
I don't know.
I want to be able to charge all my devices on this new One Wonder cable. I know I've got Apple devices. Shh. The MacBook Pro uses USB-C.
Yeah.
But do you know what their solution is now for the Surface Pro and the Surface laptop?
No.
Dongle.
No, because they go missing and... Oh, no.
Yeah, a dongle. Now, it just seems strange for the dongle to step it down to a smaller port. That's what blows me away.
Yeah, it's baffling.
Yeah, I can't understand why they didn't think to add USB-C. Because if you buy
short-sighted.
a laptop or a tablet, it's not a 12 or 24-month device anymore.
No.
I think it's a 36 to 48-month device. And in 4 years' time, USB-C by then, ubiquitous.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's going to be using it. So I don't understand why they didn't add it. It just seems like not a misstep, but a different vision.
Yeah.
I find it strange.
Yeah, I mean, recently I've been seeing like USB chargers and stuff like, like buying car cigarette chargers.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 USB ports and a USB-C port, so you can charge USB-C to USB-C.
Yeah, you know what? Talking about cars, right? In Ford the other day, looking at cars, I said, okay, has this car got CarPlay? He says, yeah. I says, oh, so how does it work then? He says, well, you plug your phone in with the cable. I went, I'm sorry, what?
No.
I was like, you do what now? He says, well, you plug it in with the cable. I went, well, where's the cable? And it says there's a USB port just below the screen. I was just, what? Are you kidding me? So you're telling me I need to have a cable running down from the middle of the dash into my phone?
That's baffling.
I was like, oh, okay, well, that's disappointing.
Isn't it?
But because I've never really looked into CarPlay, because one, I don't drive.
Yeah.
I've no idea if that's standard. I really should look this up, or whether it is wireless in other cars. But to me, even placement of that seems ludicrous.
Yeah.
In the middle of the dash, run out of cable. Do car designers just have no interest in user experience?
Apparently not.
Because that's just daft.
Yeah. I mean, I use Android Drive in my car. And that's Bluetooth. As soon as it hits my car Bluetooth, it realises and goes into Android Drive mode.
Yeah.
I do use a cable because I want to charge.
Well, CarPlay very nice using the in-car screen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But still,
just seems silly, didn't it?
It does seem silly, yeah.
Yeah. And what we're going to do when we start to change cables? I'm going to have a load of dongles in this car because you don't keep a car for 12 months.
No, you don't. Irritating.
Definitely. But we'll circle back round to the Surface Laptop in a minute, but Google, they had an event.
They did.
Do you know what they announced? I can't really see through Google Assistant because pretty much I think everything was Google Assistant.
There was a ton of Google Assistant
Google
stuff.
Assistant.
Now,
Google Assistant.
As an Android user,
Google Assistant?
I don't use Google Assistant because, for one, I use a messaging app that combines text messaging, Facebook messaging, and WhatsApp all in one app.
No way that Google Assistant has access to that.
So exactly. Plus, I'm not using Allo as a default messaging app.
Yeah.
If I was using Allo as a default messaging app and Google Assistant is built into Allo, then maybe I would use Google Assistant more. But beyond Googling stuff, which I use the Google app for, the functionality just doesn't seem to be appealing or something that I can use because I don't have a Google Home.
Yeah, I think it's coming back to what we were saying about the USB-C. They're putting it in place now because they believe further down the road.
Yeah.
So I totally get that, but it almost seems still a little bit too early.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't have amazing functionality yet. And things that seem so obvious it still can't do. Because I don't get why when I'm looking at a photo I can't just say, share this on Facebook.
Yeah.
That just seems obvious and simple. And when things like that are missing, you're just like, well, I'm kind of losing faith a little bit in this digital assistant.
Yeah.
But, do we stay faithful? A couple of years down the road, it's going to be amazing.
Maybe.
Yeah, too early. But the one announcement I really did like, Neil, Treble.
Yeah.
Now, Treble is Google's solution to updating Android.
Yeah.
Because that's our main bugbear, isn't it?
It is something, well, we've talked about it on podcast a lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
It really annoys us that you buy a phone, you wait so long for that phone manufacturer to get the latest update to Android that the next version of Android is announced just as you're getting the last version of Android. And it's infuriating.
It really is.
Because you see all these cool new things that the new version of Android is going to do.
Yeah, I don't want to play.
Yeah. Well, we probably should have mentioned some of those things that the new version of Android is going to do. But yeah, you do. You just want to have the new features. And that's what Apple's always been able to do.
Yeah.
So Treble is apparently going to separate the core elements away from Android.
Yeah.
So you've got all the carrier stuff and all that.
Separate.
So it makes it easier
Yeah.
for the manufacturers to apply updates.
Yeah, that's what they need to do.
That would be
definitely.
great.
Yeah.
It really would. Even if we can get the delay down to 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
Because currently we're looking at a minimum 3 months.
Yeah, I reckon the average is probably closer to 6.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're lucky to have a device that's quite near stock, like a Motorola.
Yeah.
Hang on, Motorola. Then you might have a shot at getting it in 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
But anyone else, you're just waiting and
It's forever.
And it's frustrating. So Google do all these new cool features like they're talking about, Google Assistant doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
But essentially, the amount of devices that actually support that and can currently use it.
Not very many.
Yeah. So get everything updated. And that's probably why they're pushing this more than anything, because Google Assistant can't be what it can be without the data. And they can't get the data till everyone updates Android.
Yeah. And I think I see like a pie chart of like what operating system people are using on Android phones, and it's always 3 or 4 back are like the most popular ones, because people have still got phones from 2 years ago which haven't been
Arguably,
updated.
a lot of that as well is developing countries.
Well, yeah.
Because the solution to that, have you seen the new version of Android called Android Go?
Yes.
A real stripped back, low resource version of Android. 512 meg of RAM.
Yeah.
Very low spec. Again, it's great because then that gets everyone on the latest version of Android.
Yeah.
Which gives them access to the latest services, get the new data. So they're definitely making some good steps forward.
Yeah.
They're the bits that really impressed me from the event more than anything.
And
Let's get everyone on the latest version.
Yeah, and on top of Android Go, which is nice and stripped back, you've then got the streaming apps that you don't have to download to use.
Do they call those instant apps?
Instant apps,
Instant
yeah.
apps. Yeah, because now they've opened that up to more developers rather
Yeah.
than, they're selected. But yeah, anything that really reduces bandwidth usage.
Definitely.
It's real good use of tech. So go on then, Neil, Google Photos.
I really like the Google Photos app because it's just on my phone, it's backing my photos up automatically, which I'll be honest, didn't realise it was doing. But I'll go out for the day with my kids and I'll take a bunch of photos, and then I'll get a notification later on in the day and it'll say, we've optimised one of your photos that you took today, have a look at it. And it'll just be a really, really nice version of a photo I've taken.
Really?
Applied some filters.
Tidied it up,
yeah.
I didn't realise it did that.
Yeah, it does.
You see, I miss out on all this photo business, Neil.
Also, one thing it does, and I've noticed that this has actually changed the way I take photographs as a result, is
Okay.
if you take a bunch of photos in quick succession...
Don't tell me it finds the best one.
No, it animates them.
Really?
Yeah, it just gives you a little... just like a little... Yeah, like a little flick book. So the other day I was out with my kids in the park, and one of my kids was doing... It was like... it was like something that he could put his arms on and then walk his legs up through his legs and come down. So he basically did a backwards somersault, but he wasn't actually doing a somersault because he was holding onto a bar above his head.
Yeah.
So I took a photo every time he took a step, knowing that Google Photos would then animate that. It'd be better if it turned it into an actual GIF, but it doesn't.
What's it turned into then?
It's, I don't know, I think
like
it's some weird proprietary thing. You can upload it to Instagram, but the quality was a bit shoddy.
Someone will have an export thing on that.
There's going to be, yeah. But yeah, so I knew it would do that, so that's why I did what I did. And it's a really cool feature. But something they're talking about introducing now is removing objects from photos.
That just seems incredible, doesn't it?
It does.
That really does.
And the example they give is just... I almost don't believe it, because they've took a photo of a kid playing baseball, but they've taken it through a chain link fence. So
they got rid of the fence.
They got rid of the fence. It's a proper crisscross of chain link, and they got rid of the fence.
But in all fairness, that's a noble pattern.
Yeah,
that you could filter out.
Yeah,
from a machine learning.
What does it do about? Because obviously, there's like part of the kid's arm is obscured by the fencing. And you're just like, how has it done that? Now,
that is pretty awesome.
I'm wondering whether it's using the camera data before you take the photo, so that it can, because you're not going to be completely static before you take the photo. You're going to be lining up.
I think it could make a pretty good guess of what's going to be there.
Yeah,
we'd have to look into it.
Yeah,
but that is, I didn't realise it was that level.
But yeah, it's not just like, oh,
cool.
There's that person photobombed in the background, I can get rid of them. It was a foreground.
That's make a photo funny though when someone photobombed it.
Yeah, totally.
There's a great one when I went to New York with Scott. He was taking pictures on Brooklyn Bridge, and this girl had snuck up behind us, and then she just jumped off, just took the photo. But I wish I'd have got her like a details to send that photo to. Great photo bomb.
Yeah.
Now that is. Do you know what really blew me away about Google Photos?
Go on.
500 million users already.
Yeah.
Don't come installed as default.
No.
So 500 million users.
That's a lot.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, totally.
Which is why they're putting so much effort into it, because the growth is just immense.
Yeah. It's a cool little app. It really is.
And I think I'll have to try and get Sean on it.
Yeah.
Because that sounds kind of cool. It gives you the best version of your photo.
Yeah. It is pretty cool.
So it appears they do have the machine learning smarts, Neil.
It does, yeah. It's almost like it's what they're pushing towards.
Yeah, I read like a really in-depth article about, the TPU that they announced.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the machine learning.
Yeah. They make it even faster.
Yeah, it's a great breakdown. He was talking about the power consumption. Something like 0.5 megawatt.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's that power intensive. It's like,
that's crazy.
My gosh. So he was saying that right now, the power consumption is so high that the people that can actually afford to run it, not very many.
No, I bet.
So they're trying to get it, obviously, far more efficient than what it currently is. But yeah, it's a great piece, really in-depth, nerdy stuff about what cables it uses, what the bandwidth is on each cable, and like the cable run length limit.
Yeah.
And that's why it's been designed like it is in terms of each thing positioned in the rack, because that particular cable, the maximum distance is like 3 meters. So then when you put 4 next to each other, well, that's the position just so. And you're like, you really don't appreciate when you're using Google Photos that they've had to think how close the servers are in a server room because of the cable run to enable all those things. So it's a really cool piece, but 0.5 megawatt just blew me away.
Totally.
Blew me away. Right then, let's talk tablets.
Yeah.
The tablet that everyone can afford is the one to buy.
Amazon Fire.
Yeah. It's had a refresh.
Yeah.
£50 and £80.
It's so ridiculously cheap.
They work so well.
Yeah.
It just does everything you need a tablet to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's solid.
My kids have got one each, and so they've had them for like 18 months now, and they're still going strong. Nothing wrong with them. The only issue that I have with them ever is and it's not the fault of the tablet. It's it could be the fault of the Amazon App Store, but it's what apps are allowed to be stored on the hard drive and what apps are allowed to be stored on external memory, because it's a nightmare.
That depends which version of Android it's running.
Yeah,
because it wasn't until the later versions of Android, was it 7 or 6, which made the storage look like one piece of storage.
Right.
So before that, you couldn't do that. So yeah, it was media, and some apps could be stored externally, everything else internally.
Well, this is it. They've got memory cards in there, but a lot of the apps just won't install to the memory card, and as a result, you keep getting the sign up saying, "Oh, you've run out of storage."
It comes back to this old versions of Android thing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it really does. Absolutely does.
But other than that, they're great little tablets. They work well. There's no issues or complaints with it. Love it. And they've refreshed them, so they're going to be even better.
I think they are the tablet market now.
Yeah, totally.
Is there a tablet market? Yeah. Amazon.
Yeah.
At the high end, it's still Apple.
Yeah.
And they're the only two players.
Yeah.
Amazon and Apple. That's it.
Again,
anyone else, don't even bother.
Yeah. The Amazon App Store, again, is an issue because not everything comes out on it. And there's games that my kids are going, "Oh, I've seen an advert for this game. Can I play it?" Nope, because it's not available on the Amazon App Store.
Can you sideload and stuff on it? But then again, you don't want to be messing about.
You don't want to be faffing about, do you know?
No, you just want it to work, don't you?
Yeah, especially since I've got them locked into like the kid-friendly area of it, which is phenomenal.
But, it's still solid.
Yeah.
App developers will eventually realise that they need to put it on the Amazon store because they're the tablets that are selling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But
But what's weird is, the tablet market come along, it's going to destroy the laptop market. Now, laptop sales are down, but all of a sudden, everyone's got an amazing laptop.
Yeah.
And that's what blows me away. Microsoft have got this new beautiful Surface laptop.
Yeah.
Material. Switch-swoo. And now, because I was looking or waiting for the Chinese manufacturers like Huawei, Xiaomi to come into the market, see what they can produce. Now, Xiaomi have done one, I think it's for £800, if you import it from China.
Yeah.
Then Huawei announced one the same day as the Surface Pro. I'm like, okay, this is going to be really cool. So, thin as the MacBook Air. Yeah. Pretty good spec. Splash-proof keyboard.
Nice.
2K screen. USB-C. Ticking all the right boxes. I'm like, this could be a cool Windows laptop to own. Then I saw the price. €1,399 starting price.
That's crazy.
So by the time you've got a reasonable spec, you're probably looking at €1,500.
It's unbelievable.
Which is more expensive than the Surface laptop. It's more expensive than a Spectre X360. It's more expensive than a Dell XPS 13.
Yeah. And from being the manufacturer that make affordable items, or more affordable items...
Well, they make premium level devices, usually just below premium pricing.
Yeah.
Or what's considered the premium price point. So this, to me, just does not make sense.
No.
Yeah, it's got a couple of features which other laptops don't, but not to the point where you're thinking, okay, I'm going to choose that over a Spectre or an XPS or something from Lenovo or the Yoga Book, because it costs more than all of those devices.
Ridiculous, and it just doesn't have the brand recognition to back it up.
No. Of course, you don't want to bring it in at £600 and then you damage the factory premium, but at least make it the same price or a tiny bit cheaper than the other premium ones.
Yeah.
And then it's piqued my interest. I've gone, oh, what's this one?
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I'm in the market for a laptop at the minute.
Yeah.
Windows one, because I'm going back to university and got to do some stuff on Windows. So, and because I've been looking around, I've been waiting in the hopes that this would happen.
Yeah.
That Huawei or someone would release something. I'd be like, okay, cool, ticks all the boxes for me. I'm going to save some money. So I was really excited when it got announced yesterday. And then when I saw the price, I was just so deflated.
Yeah.
I don't get how I can buy the XPS. I don't keep on banging on about it. The XPS and the Spectre for cheaper. It just...
Yeah. Does seem baffling.
Yeah. And the Spectre and XPS a touchscreen.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that the laptop market's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Even though sales are down.
Yeah.
Everyone's putting out a premium. But I think it's because we're now at a point where manufacturing and materials and hardware now produces so little heat in terms of more efficient CPUs.
Yeah.
We can make things far thinner. That now a laptop is not what it once was. It's now this slim, light, beautiful, sleek device.
Yeah. But the thing that bugs me is, again, on a laptop, why do you need a 2K screen on a laptop?
Neil, lots have got 4K.
Why? Well, yeah, but let's not even get to 4K.
Sorry, approaching 4K is probably more accurate.
Just give me a 1080p screen and increase the specs inside, and I'm happy. Give it a big battery, or as big a battery as you can without making it a monster. I just don't understand this push to go to resolutions beyond what human eyes can actually make, like see any difference.
The argument is so you can get more apps on screen. But then I think, do you actually want to help people use these devices, or do I use something totally different?
Yeah.
But essentially, how many people run 3 apps side by side on one screen?
Oh, many.
I don't think it can be that high. Oh, but you use computer at work.
Yeah.
Do you... I'm not saying you have every screen maximised, but do you have every screen covering the majority... every app covering the majority of the screen?
No.
No?
No.
So how do you work it then?
Well...
So maybe there is a need for having a massive resolution so you can have multiple apps up at a time.
I don't... No, I just pop in and out stuff as I need it. So I mean, there's having a dual monitor setup. I do.
Oh, you've got. I didn't know you had a dual monitor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So dual monitor is a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I've got, and there are only really 2 or 3 things that we use at work anyway. So having 2 of them open at once is pretty much all you need.
When I could see a dual monitor setup, it's ridiculous the difference it can make.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I always used to have the left screen have all the information that I may need to reference through the day, and then the right hand screen was my actual work in progress. So I should be able to look over to that screen. Right, okay, just carry on working.
Yeah,
and it is so cool. And maybe that's why they're going for high resolution, so you can do that on one screen. Yeah. But when you've got a 13-inch laptop with that type of resolution,
exactly,
it
so
seems
unnecessary.
Insane, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I should probably say about that Huawei laptop is it is fanless.
Oh, nice.
So that is kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So no noise, no moving parts.
But still
a lot of money.
Still a lot of money.
Hell of a lot of money. But it'll be interesting to see by Christmas who else has released a fanless slimline laptop. Because let's see who's done it. Apple have obviously done it. Apple did it a while ago. So Huawei have done it. I think Dell have got a fanless one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're probably, by the end of this year, early next, we're going to have a lot of laptops that are fanless. And maybe that's why the high-end tablet market is struggling a little bit. Because now the tablets are getting to be a slimline.
Yeah.
Sorry, the laptops are becoming a slimline to tablets. Because if you're doing a lot of productive work on a tablet, you're attaching a keyboard.
Yeah, definitely.
So if the laptop's the size of that device anyway, maybe it becomes a harder sell for a high-end... which is why obviously we've got the 2-in-1s, like the new Surface Pro.
Yeah.
Which is cheaper than the Huawei.
Yeah, I was in court yesterday in line with my job, and
I dropped that in. Yeah,
it's part of my job. And our solicitor was using an iPad Pro with a keyboard, instead of a laptop. Yeah,
nice. Using Office.
Yeah.
It's really good on the iPad Pro.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
to the point where if you just are doing a lot of word processing, and you've got OneDrive.
Yeah, and she was. She needed me to proofread the document that she'd just written, so she was like, I could print it off or I could just pass you this, you could read it on screen. She just took the iPad out of the keyboard and passed me it. I'm just that's saving paper. But and when you've got professionals using them like that, I suppose it really does earn the name Pro.
Yeah, I think when people hear the word Pro, they assume it's like... video editing or high-end audio editing, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, that is a great use case. I think is a word processing device which you do lots of emailing on and surfing the internet. The iPad Pro is very, very, very difficult to beat. It's absolutely up there, and especially when you compare the price of the iPad Pro to something like the Surface Pro or something like that.
Yeah.
But at a point where the iPad is considered cheap.
That's bizarre.
Which just seems...
Yeah, what was that thing about the Apple Premium?
Yeah, I know. It makes you wonder.
It does.
When the iPad Pro...
It's weird how the Apple App Store, the iOS App Store, pushed prices of apps down. It was a race to the bottom. And yet the price of their hardware has kind of pushed everything else up.
Yeah, I think software is a difficult beast.
Yeah.
And could you argue that Apple should have took a bit more control in terms of setting pricing?
Possibly,
and
yeah.
forced people to do set pricing rather than going for this advertising model. Because now games and stuff is specifically engineered.
Oh, yeah. It's changed the way that they build games.
Get as much money out of you as possible. Yeah. It's not now just focused on gameplay. It's how can we tweak gameplay to make the most money rather than let's get the gameplay to make the best game. Now, I know not all developers do that.
No.
There are some games out there that do generally sell the app for a set fee,
yeah,
and they are 100% focused on let's make this the best playing game we can.
Yeah, definitely. But it is a model that's been used before, arcade machines.
It is a model that's been used before, I agree, but you could argue that was micropayments rather than...
For example, microtransactions.
No, I'm saying to advance through a game having to watch 10 adverts.
Oh, yeah. God.
Arguably, that's not
the
same model. If we're talking about a game that is straight up microtransaction,
yeah,
I agree, it's the arcade model.
Yeah.
But if it's, we've gamed it, so you've got to watch this many adverts, because they know how much they get per user per advert.
Yeah.
So they think, right, we're going to make this game so each user has to watch, on average, X amount of adverts, which means each user is worth Y to us.
Yeah.
And that's how they're creating those games, with that type of algorithm.
I've played games before where they tried to make you watch ads, and I've never done it. There was a game that I played fairly recently where it was it was almost like a fixed path RPG kind of thing. You were constantly leveling up and you were crafting, and so you'd have to collect 10 items to craft a particular object.
Yeah.
And on every stretch of road that you walk down, it's called the trail. But you're walking from campsite to campsite, and when you get to the next campsite you craft, and you're collecting all your stuff in between. But just before you get to the next campsite, this woman will run up to you and say, I've got this item on offer. She's wearing a sandwich board with a picture of the item on. If you click on me, you can watch an advert and you get it. And you're like, oh, but I've got 9 and I only need one more and I've not seen one for ages. I'm right, then I'll watch them.
Yeah, well, I've been playing a game, Crafting Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And again, same sort of game where, you got to make stuff and items. So to increase your production levels, you have to watch an advert.
Right.
But they just changed that recently, actually. But up until the recent update, it had to.
Yeah.
So in an average session, you may watch 4 adverts that you agreed to watch.
Right.
So you extrapolate that over you levelling up. And they've engineered the game. I totally understand why they do this, where you have to restart from the beginning just about every other day, which pushes you to watch even more adverts to quickly get back to the point you were at.
Yeah.
So really, they've done it clever, give it to them, round of applause, but the amount of adverts you have to watch to progress.
Yeah.
But of course you can, spend a lot longer and not watch the adverts, but it isn't long before you click on, well, if I watch the advert, it saves me 6 hours.
Yeah.
So you're just going to watch all the adverts, aren't you? Because the adverts only take 4 minutes.
Yeah. It sounds a bit like a clicker game. Because I've played a few clickers where it's like, you can get ×2 production if you watch this advert.
Exactly that,
Yeah. It's dirty, but...
They've got a bit of money.
Yeah, totally.
And unfortunately, when you see a game for $9.99, you go...
on your phone, it just doesn't seem like value for money.
Do you know what's crazy, though? Buy stuff on Xbox on pre-release stuff, 50 quid, that's not bad.
I don't. But alternatively, you would buy a DS game for 30, 40 quid.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you have with you at all times.
Arguably,
paying,
you sell it.
Yeah, true.
You can sell it, you can trade it. You can't register, can you? If you buy it, that's it done. So maybe that's factored in. People do understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, go on then, Neil. What else we got in the news?
Do you want to go to space?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want people you know and love to go to space?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want them to be alive when they do it?
Depends what we're talking about.
Go on then, what's this new service?
This is, you can have your remains sent into space for $2,500 and it orbits Earth and then just basically re-enters the atmosphere and burns up.
Oh, right, okay.
But what shocked me about this, or not shocked me or piqued my interest, the price.
Yeah.
$2,500 doesn't seem ludicrously expensive.
No.
And that's why I was like, oh, doesn't seem that bad value for money. And it's a company who's renting space with SpaceX.
Oh, right.
So they're going to put their payload into SpaceX. It's released in orbit, orbits the Earth for a bit, and comes back down in.
Right.
But just the fact that it was $2,500.
Do you get tracking?
Yes. At any point in time, you can see where it currently is.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Kind of. But kind of weird.
Well, if you're going to bury someone or spread their ashes...
Yeah, I suppose it's...
And this, if they loved space...
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool to think they're up there...
Yeah.
Circling the Earth.
Might get a bunch of religious people doing it. So look,
yeah, it's cool.
An angel in the sky.
$2,500, not bad.
Yeah. I like the fact that it does come back in and burn up in the atmosphere, because initially I was just thinking, wow, brilliant, just what we need, more space junk.
Yeah, but we could have fired it towards the sun.
Yeah. But I suppose that's not so bad then. I was initially a bit down on the idea, but no, it's pretty cool.
Is there any other interesting news, Neil?
The other one we've got on here is the Bragi Pro headphones.
Oh, you're a big fan of Hitchhiker's Guide.
I am.
I've heard tell. What was one of the coolest things for you, techie-wise, in that film?
Well, not really techie-wise, but the babel fish.
No, of course it was a biological solution in Hitchhikers, but basically, the new Bragi Pro do real-time translation.
That is crazy. I read something about this a couple of months back, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, it'd be cool if we can do that, but it's going to be years away. And here it is.
Yeah, it's here. It
Absolutely
just seems
bananas.
Real jaw-dropping tech that it exists. It's out there. Over time, that is just going to get to the point where maybe it's like on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter what language people talk, you hear it in the language you require.
Yeah. That's, the universal communicator. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Anywhere in the world, anyone can talk to anybody. It seems...
Yeah. I was going to say it'd come in really handy in my job. However, it would require both people to have them.
Yeah, but it's cheaper than an interpreter.
Well, yeah, but are you really going to be wanting to take around a set that 10 other people have used these today, but if you can just put these in your ears.
To be honest, Neil, with how much an interpreter charges, it's probably cheaper to buy it on a pen. Just go, here we go, you keep these, this is for this session.
For me, it'd just be kind of cool because it doesn't happen very often, but we do get interpreters because they are actually part of the local community.
Careful, Neil.
Because they are part of the local community, they are not entirely truthful with their interpreting, or they may support the family that I'm working with rather than tell me what is actually going on. It doesn't happen very often. It's very, very minimal. But in those cases,
this is a solution to at least have a sense of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is a cool piece of tech. Again, it's something that existed in sci-fi that is becoming reality.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much of the tech that we love started in sci-fi.
Is it small, yellow and Leech-like?
They have got to do a special edition.
You'd think,
yellow. They've got to. There's a little nod. Look, here's the yellow version. Limited run.
I mean, obviously everyone uses Google Translate these days, but I used to use the service called Babelfish just because it was called Babelfish for translation. Because it's just like, of course that's what you'd call it. Why would you call it anything else?
That is what you call it.
Yeah.
And they do need to be bright yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe we'll even get to a point where we are using, let's say, a device that's one step on from the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Where these are just standard, basic features.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Just as a keyboard is standard on everything now.
Yeah.
This could get to the point where it's just... You don't even think about it.
Yeah.
It's just you assume you can speak, listen, talk in every language possible.
Where does the computing take place? Is it...
It's not going to all happen locally, is it?
No.
It uses a device,
Yeah.
pairs with a phone. So
Yeah.
I would imagine they're still sending it off to... I would imagine with it being Bragi, it might even be IBM.
Yeah. It could be like a companion app or something that sits on your phone.
Yeah, it's definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to get to a point where those things eventually get ironed out.
Well, yeah.
Because
Google could do it.
Well, you just think, a few years ago, if you wanted to take a photo of something and find out what it was, you had to send it to a server.
Yeah.
Wait 20 seconds, it'd come back and it'd say, fish.
Yeah.
Now that can be done locally on the phone.
Not a hot dog.
Not a hot dog. But now that can be done locally on the phone.
Yeah.
So there will become a point where a model can be created that's efficient enough to go internally on the device.
Yeah.
I don't think that's 10, 15 years away.
Oh, no.
That's definitely short to mid future.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Yeah. We're always looking forward to the future, Neil. It's always just around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It just reminds me of the Eddie Izzard bit where he's like, I used to love watching Star Trek. It's just so futuristic and fantastic, and they've got those doors that open by themselves, and we've got those now. Like, yeah, out of everything on Star Trek, that was the least impressive piece of tech.
Yeah, but automatic doors did not exist when that was created.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're getting quite close to the holodeck.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the iPad is pretty much the device that they used to carry around, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? The communicator, not yet. Being able to talk to the computer, yes, but it's certainly not as intelligent as...
Yeah, but I think we said this the other week, we're going to get to a point where the phone is just something that sits in your ear and isn't necessarily something that you carry around in your pocket.
Yeah, the Bragi Pro is probably a good sort of early indicator of what the future's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, if we do... In fact, what was it called, that film? Was it Her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what we're aiming towards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we can't all stare at these tablets. Because you know what? That was really weird. I still look at the phone when I use it.
Yeah.
I can't see what's going on in it, but it's so ingrained that I still look at the phone and I'm using it.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I click on it and look at the phone and go, why am I looking at it?
Yeah, it's just that weird social contract thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
But, do you know, if I'm just staring into space and using my phone without looking at it, I think people would probably find that
a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
No, I'm sure there's other stuff.
There probably was.
Some like major stuff that we missed.
Yeah, but we made the show notes in a rush.
We did.
As a result, we've not got everything that possibly we've talked about, so we'll wrap it up for this week.
It's all about just a tech conversation.
Exactly, we're just having a natter. Two mates having a natter about stuff they find interesting.
Put it on the internet, why not?
It sounds like a plan. We should probably do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it with this one.
We'll do, yeah.
All right. So if you want to find us, techenthusiast.com is probably the best place, but you can find us on all the socials. We're on Twitter, Enthusiast Tech. We're on YouTube and Facebook. Like, subscribe, and do all the other bits and bobs you do with socials, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Brecky.
Well, after running out of blueberries for the past week.
No.
Yeah, finally got some. So I'm back on my favourite. I'm doing low carb, so...
My diet still hasn't started, and neither has my exercise. I'll get there eventually.
One day.
It will do.
I always find it's best to start on a fresh week after you've had a real good binge.
Yeah, well, I've been doing the binging thing for a few weeks now. So
Okay, well, you got the solid binging.
Yeah, definitely. I had poached eggs on toast with grated cheese.
Oh, we're quite boring, aren't we?
Lots of salt and pepper, but I bust one of my yolks as we're getting the egg out of the pan.
Did you just throw the pan down in disgust?
I wish I had done, to be honest.
Just throw it across the room, walk out, I'm done.
The other two eggs were fine, but obviously once the yolk comes out into the hot water, that's it. It's then just a set yolk, and you're just like, oh.
Off topic, totally, but it's to do with food. I had to get the car fixed the other day. So
Right.
down near Quick Fit. I'm like, is there a cafe around here? He says, yeah, there's one around the corner. I was like, oh, okay. And do you know the barbecue joint in town? The filling station?
Oh, yeah.
They own the Greasy Spoon.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, okay. So we went there. Oh my God, it's proper good Greasy Spoon. Middle of industrial estate, nowhere. Go there for breakfast, $4.50, massive breakfast.
Love a good greasy spoon.